Okay, action.
That's my move.
Do it then. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So excited to film this video. It is our first video actually married.
We did it.
We did it.
Finally got to have our day.
Oh my gosh, what a long time coming it was, and that is the point of this video. So I have already probably posted a few other videos that were filmed before I was actually a Capano, full disclosure, but we just have had a crazy experience getting to what ended up being the most perfect wedding day, and we want to talk all about it. So, title of this video, we sort of eloped during a global pandemic, and let's get down into the details of that.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
Angles, man.
I'm trying to get the right angle.
Where'd you get in geometry?
In geometry, it's a different type of angle, Jonathan.
Great.
So we were trying to think about how to get into this story and how we ended up making the decision that we did. I mean, first and foremost, there is a global pandemic going on, so a lot of men and women, women and women, men and men, whoever's getting married are experiencing a lot of cancellations and issues trying to do the damn thing and get married to their significant other. And so people are doing a lot of different things to make it work for them, and I think it's incredible if you decide to move your wedding entirely, if you're waiting a year, if you just decide to get married in a courthouse. Just want to put it out there that I think whatever you decide is perfect for you, but this is just our story. And I think that the best way to get into it would be to just briefly explain what our original plan was. Does that sound good to you, Cap?
Sounds good to me.
And so our original plan was to get married on June 5th, 2020, with about 230 people. That's how many we invited. We never even got the chance to see who RSVP'd yes, no, or whatever, but that was our plan. And it was gonna be beautiful at this estate, pretty close to where we live, an estate that I've wanted to get married at since I was really young, and that was basically our plan. I had the dress, you had the suit, every single thing was done because we didn't decide to move the wedding until a few weeks technically before. A few other things happened too that we'll get into, but essentially that was our plan. Am I forgetting any major pieces?
No, I think you got it. I mean, we were like just maybe a month out when we really canceled the first, the original date, call it now.
Yeah, I had like 2 dress fittings already. We were just hoping to God that something would change and the world would be better and we would be able to get married. And so we got to about mid-May when we decided, we were in April when we originally decided to just move the wedding from June 5th to August 6th, which hindsight, that was just like such blind optimism. Like, I can't even believe we thought things would be better in a matter of 8 weeks. We were just we've been together 11 years, like we were just so ready to be married that we were like,
yeah, I think we were just looking for any sort of hope to have our big day. And where we are now, August doesn't seem very realistic.
Oh my gosh,
at all. We tried.
We tried.
We got here, so it's part of our story.
So like, we decided to move the wedding from June 5th to August 6th. We sent out change the date cards. Like, it was a whole thing. And so we just prayed, and then it became mid-May or early May. And we were just like, we don't deserve to feel like this the months leading up to our wedding. Like, we don't want to not have a bachelorette party. We don't want to not have a bridal shower. We don't want to just hope that we can have this huge wedding that I've dreamed about since I was little. I don't know about you, but and we didn't want to experience all of those things. So we ultimately decided to cancel our August wedding. And when I say cancel, I mean move our entire dream wedding to June of 2021, because that was non-negotiable for both of us. We love family. We have huge families. We love our friends. We were never going to not have that big wedding celebration. I was never not going to wear my dress. All of that combined.
Yeah. We both really enjoy entertaining. I think we kind of talked about this. I don't want to jump the gun, but
yeah,
we both really enjoy that, and we both want to have that, you know, that moment to look back on forever.
Yeah.
Not miss out on that.
Right, 100%. So our wedding is next year, June 24th of 2021 at our same venue. Literally everything is just on pause until next year.
Put it on ice for 1 year.
Put it on ice for 1 year. But there was no chance in hell that we weren't getting married this year, right?
No chance.
And so we thought long and hard, and it was one of the most difficult decisions we've ever made to put our wedding off but not put our marriage off. And I think we just both came together, had a lot of hard conversations, and said, we're getting married in 2020. This was our year, and if there was any silver lining out of all this, it was going to be that
we get to have our date.
We get to have our date, and our date is June 22nd. It's the date that when we were 15 years old, Jonathan asked me to be his girlfriend, and we've been together since with a few bumps in the road, but that's normal. We got married on Monday, June 22nd in a small ceremony with 17 people, and it was perfect.
Yeah, it was really such a special day.
It was so perfect, and I can't wait to talk all about it with you!
And me?
And you. Okay. So took a little coffee break, about 2 minutes in.
Don't do that.
And so back to it. Moved our wedding 2021, marriage 2020. That is how we are distinguishing the two dates, by the way. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So through our wedding process, you know, we started having conversations about who we'd have there. Obviously, we were under guidelines and things like that. And then we kind of got into the conversation of, you know, who are we gonna tell about this, and how do we let people know that, one, the wedding is moved till next year, and two, how are we gonna go about telling people that we're gonna get married?
I know. And like, what is their opinion going to be? Are people going to be upset that they're not being included?
That was like the biggest thing. You know, you have that second of doubt where you're like, are people going to be upset that we didn't sell them? Or are they going to, you know, you just don't know how people are going to react. But, you know, in our heart of hearts, we knew people were just going to be so happy that we finally got married. And we were able to have our day amongst, you know, everything that's going on right now. So
yeah, we
decided that we would tell just those that were going to be in attendance. I told my groomsmen, Courtney told her bridesmaids. And another thing is that we didn't want people to feel like they had to do something for us for this. Like this was totally for us. Like we just wanted to finally be married, and we can't wait to celebrate with everyone next year. And we just wanted to, you know, kind of hold all that energy and just, you know, let it build and build and build until next year.
That was like the driving reason above all else. All the other things were factored in as to why we didn't tell people about it, but that was the biggest. We wanted people to just focus on next year. People are so inclined to get you gifts when you're getting married and to just want to give you so much love, which we just want put into next year, you know?
And so, you know, we had those conversations with some people, and then, like I said, on the other end, when people found out, the reaction was incredible. Everyone was just so happy about, you know, everyone just, for us, it was the right thing to do. And I think everyone saw that. Everyone, you know, the pictures from that day, I'm sure you'll include some, are just spectacular. You can just see it in the room that everyone was just so happy that we finally were able to get hitched.
Yep. And it was so hard to not tell a lot of family members and a lot of our good friends, but we just wanted to focus on us. The days leading up to it, we were so honestly happy that it just didn't feel chaotic. No one knew. We had so many just great moments. It was so simple and so perfect. And next year, we're having a party. We're gonna shower all of our family and friends with love as they're, you know, supporting our marriage. And I wouldn't trade it.
People have always told us that, you know, the night you get married flies by because, you know, like I said, Courtney and I both love to entertain. Like, we're people persons.
People pleasers.
People persons. People. We want to talk to every single person that's at that wedding because everybody there means a lot to us.
Yeah.
So the way this night turned out, and kind of the blessing in disguise, is that we got to have those, you know, just married feelings, those intimate moments.
And we're gonna get into all of that.
Should have walked to that song.
Should have walked to that song down the aisle. And so we decided to get married and kind of first step, I guess, after getting our license to be married, or maybe it happened a little bit before then, was where are we gonna do this thing? How many people can even be there? We were only in phase 2 at the time when we made this decision.
Yeah, phase 2, part 1.
Yeah, and so we were like, oh my goodness, nowhere is gonna take us. We thought about getting married in Lynn Woods, which is a meaningful spot to us, and we were like, let's just do it, our parents' backyard. And so there is this local coffee shop slash cafe slash now event venue. They have done a few events there. They're fairly new. They just celebrated their 1 year. They're called Uncommon Feast, and we did so much wedding planning there, like on Saturdays throughout the last year. We would just sit there, have coffee, wedding plan, and just got to know the owners. It was actually the venue that was supposed to be our rehearsal dinner venue.
So they invited us to kind of sit down and talk about what we thought the day would look like first, what we were allowed to do, what they pictured for the day. So, you know, with that, you know, a lot of logistics went into this, not as much as the wedding next year and stuff like that. Okay.
So cute.
Yeah. Anyways, logistics. I'm talking about logistics. So once we had our head count, it was around 15, which, you know, at the point where we were at, we were comfortable having that many people in one room. It is an open space, technically.
And there's a garage, so we had that open the whole time. There was air circulating the entire night, and we knew that would be the case. Yeah,
so with the guest list, we also had to contact, you know, our officiant, our photographer. We had to talk through with them what they were comfortable doing.
Fun fact, this was on a Monday night, because that was the date of June 22nd, our anniversary. All that good stuff. So everyone was free.
All the mushy stuff.
All the mushy stuff.
So we got all of that figured out. Luckily, everyone was available. The venue was comfortable with having the amount of people we were going to have. We only had the photographer there for an hour. We had the officiant there just for really the ceremony. And it just went smoothly from there. Is this a TikTok?
Has everybody seen that one? Okay. Anyways, so what were we talking about?
Planning our day, getting everyone there. Everyone was available.
Our wedding, right? Officiant, check. Photographer, and photographer. Did I just say photographer twice?
Double check.
I had to say florist.
Yep.
And that was really all that we needed. It was, we were on a budget and we met our goals, and we had flowers, photographer for an hour, just to have photos forever. We have so many photos. Heather, Nicole, we love you. We don't know how many we're gonna release, because again, next year are the pictures that we want to like remember from our big wedding, but also obviously this is our marriage. We want to have these photos forever also. So who knows, but they came out beautiful.
Yeah, two-part story.
Two-part story. Yep, I get to be his second wife.
I like that.
Okay, so what we're all here for, right? Can we talk about the day now?
I would love to.
Me too. Okay, so let's talk about the wedding day. Where do we begin? I actually want to hear, oh wait, no, okay. June 22nd, approximately 6 a.m., we were awake. And we decided, that's another thing too, we decided to, I was gonna say sleep together the day before the wedding, but then we physically slept in the same bed the night before.
We slept at home.
We slept at home together, and I know that a lot of times people sleep separately the night before the wedding, and that is definitely our plan for next year, and that was always our plan for our wedding. But we were just like, this is different. We just want to be with each other. We want to go for, we went for a 2-mile walk on the beach the morning of the wedding, and that's just what we chose to do. And we'll talk about this too, the things that we did on our marriage wedding day this year and what we're waiting to do next year, which we're waiting to do pretty much everything next year, tradition wise. And so we slept in the same bed, woke up at 6 a.m. June 22nd of 2020, and we just kind of were staring at each other. I was definitely staring at you. I was like,
you staring at me?
We're getting married? So we were like, okay, we're not gonna see each other from noon on. And we went for a walk in the morning, we had coffee, it was perfect. It really, to me, didn't feel like we were getting married that whole day. I don't know about you, but it did not feel like we were getting married, which I loved. I was so calm, even when I got to my parents' house, which I'll talk about too, but it was just perfect. And so we decided at noon when we had to separate for the day, we were not gonna talk, text, but do you remember when we were like, okay, we're not gonna see each other, talk to each other, whatever. So we went our separate ways. I had to pick up my bouquet and Jonathan had a hair appointment, which
It's a haircut.
Haircut.
Men don't go to hair appointments.
Men can do whatever they want. There's no binaries. We basically crossed paths like an hour later after we both had our errands. He cut me off, and I was literally like, not gonna cuss someone out because it was my wedding day, but I was like, and then I looked, and I just see you waving at me, and then you texted me and broke the rule. It was kind of nice. Like it gave me a sense of like, okay, that might have been a nice sign of fate that we ran into each other one more time. I'm interested to hear about your day from that point on.
My parents' house. It was all kind of like nervous energy. Everyone was, you know, looking for like things to do. So I had written a letter for my parents, and I had gifts for my brothers and for my parents. So that kind of gave us something to do. And obviously it was like very, very emotional for everybody. So like they read my letter and they loved it and they cried. And Nikki opened his gift, and I got him both watches. He cried. So like we like basically got like all that nervous energy out of our system, because, you know, we were able to just, you know, like connect on that emotional level. And then it was kind of like smooth sailing from there. Everyone was calm. Everyone was talking about old stories. We talked about old memories and old stories about me, embarrassing stories about me. Basically,
do tell.
No, not to be shared on YouTube. So while we were getting dressed, I was in my old bedroom, so like I was getting dressed in there, which was nice, just kind of reflecting on the times we had there.
Oh, good times there.
Yep. Yeah, so we had all started to get ready and, you know, getting dressed, and that was an emotional moment for like my mom to see like all of us getting ready for the big day. So I read Courtney's letter and everything she wrote to me, which was an emotional moment for me, just because, you know, like you can't anticipate like what you're gonna feel on that day, and like, you know, it's good to see your partner on the same page and things like that, and just, you know, those words mean a lot to me. I'm not gonna dive into what they were specifically, but they, you know, they meant a lot to me, and it was a good way to kind of get the day going and head down to get married.
It's almost like a sense of calm.
I ended up driving to the venue by myself just because I just needed a minute alone to kind of collect my thoughts and like just get down there and just kind of have that alone time, which was like so nice.
Being in the car, like you've always, that's always been like your outlet. Like I remember in high school when you had your Mustang and we would get in like arguments, you would just need to go for a drive.
I was actually the first person to arrive at Uncommon Feast, besides the musician. Oh, that's another vendor we had.
Oh,
we had Kevin Kennedy, who played the piano and played some music
and
sang.
Like the heart of the night. How did we forget?
He was unbelievable. So he was there setting up, and they were getting the venue ready. It was good. So I had gotten there, and then my family was close behind me, and they got there. And then, you know, people just started coming in. My grandmother came. Courtney's grandparents got there, and Courtney's brother got there, and it all started getting pretty real.
We'll stop there because the night shortly begins after you arrived at Uncommon Feast.
Let's hear your day.
Basically, I got to my parents' house after running into Jonathan, as fate would have it, on the car ride over, and essentially just got there. My mom and maid of honors had just decorated the house, had champagne, lots of mimosas, and we just relaxed for a while. We had, you know, just a lot of laughs, a lot of fun. We just like reminisced, and it was so nice because it was so simple and I was so at ease, and it was beautiful because my mom had always wanted to have me at the house getting ready, and that just wasn't going to work with our original wedding plan. We were all going to get ready, spend the night at the hotel, and then get ready at the hotel, have all my girls come, do hair and makeup at the hotel, and it just meant the world to my mom and me now looking back on how it went down, that we were at the house that I grew up in getting ready, and so we didn't have like hair or makeup professionals hired. Luckily, my best friend is a professional, so she did it for free. Thank you, Leanne. She did my hair, and some of us did our own makeup, and my maid of honor sister did makeup, and so it was just very calm. There was no timeline we had to stick to. At one point, Jonathan's mother came over. She just dropped off some champagne and sandwiches and things like that, and as she was leaving, she just kind of pulled me aside and just said things to me that obviously I'm not going to share, but just made me so excited to, you know, carry her name and marry her son. And it was just like one of the most special moments to me. That was when I just lost it. I was doing pretty good. I bawled my eyes out. My mother was crying at that moment. It was insane. And then from there, we just were like, okay, well, here we are. Let's just keep the tears flowing. And we all opened letters. I wrote my parents a letter. My father opened and mother opened Jonathan's letter. And that was just, I've seen my father cry like 2 times in my life. And reading your letter was the 3rd. And so it was just beautiful. I had gifts for everybody. I gave my 2 maid of honors a bracelet that I'm wearing. It's matching, of course. I had to get myself one. Everyone left, and this is probably my favorite part of the day prior to marrying you, was just sitting at home. Everybody had left to get down to the ceremony, and my mother, father, and I just had like 30 minutes to just sit at our kitchen table and just basically stare at each other, honestly, and just like, we were just mushy, and it was just, again, so calm. I just felt so calm throughout the day, which is so rare. Everyone I've talked to says the wedding is a blur, it flashes by, you're stressed out. Like, I was not stressed one time this whole day, not one time. And so basically we just sat and talked, and it was just 30 minutes that I'll never forget. Right before I was married, it was my last like 30 minutes as an extrum, and that was my maiden name at this point, which is crazy to say. But it was beautiful. And from there, put my dress on. Me and my father had a first look, and we didn't document it at all, which was beautiful in itself. Our reactions were, just seeing each other were so incredible. My mother looked beautiful, and from there we drove down to the venue, which is about a 10-minute drive, and hit every red light possible. We were a little bit late, but that's okay. We get down there, and the cue was my mother was supposed to enter the building to kind of let everybody know, okay, things are gonna go down. Shut the garage door. Courtney and her father are going to be entering soon. And so my mom came in, and I guess you kind of...
Yeah, we had a nice special moment, like me and her mom, and that was like, because everyone was waiting for Kelly to get there, that was our cue. So it's just like another wave of emotions hit you. It's like, okay, like we're about to get started, and
the pictures of everyone seeing my mother walk in, I'm gonna insert them here because they were incredible. Your mother seeing my mom, you hugging my mom, you all just knew the night was about to get started, and it was, I loved those pictures. So I know we're getting long-winded here, but my mother got there, and then they shut the garage doors. I mean, my dad knew, all right, we're up. And fun fact, it's hard to explain, but we had to like walk around a corner to get to like where we were entering. And we knew that like the music had started, and we were like, okay, we have some time. I wanted there to be like a little bit of a build up. So me and my dad like passed a window, but it was like a mirror. And I'm not kidding you, we were just like checking ourselves out for like a few minutes. We were like, ooh, you look good, you look good. And we realized we were literally running late. The garage had already opened.
I'm like, she finally came to her senses, and she just ran away.
I was supposed to be standing there when the garage opened, and it ended up being even cooler that I kind of like turned.
Yeah, you kind of came around the corner.
But oh my gosh, and that was a moment I'll never forget. Garage opened, I just see you like standing there at the top of the stairs into the venue, and you little red eyes.
Yes. There's no denying it. I tried to come up with something that just...
you just looked so handsome, and I was just like so excited to just get to you.
Yeah.
And walked up. I know, I'm interested to hear what you were thinking.
I just wanted you to get to me finally too. I was trying to grab you.
Let me tell you, this whole ceremony, so eventually get to Jonathan. The Justice of the Peace asks who brought me to be married. My parents said, we do. I finally get up to you. You literally grabbed my hand and just whispered to me like, actually, no, you didn't whisper to me yet, but you just were like, you look beautiful, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like, I could just tell you wanted to just like be married. You were so ready. And halfway through the ceremony, you literally were like, he needs to hurry up, like I need to kiss you or something.
Yeah, I couldn't even hear the words he was saying at one point. I was like, is this the real script? Like, it's like, because we had talked about it with him. I just gotten so lost in it all, so it was just...
It was, oh my god, and I was just like smiling.
It was only like a 10-minute, 15-minute
Yeah, it was 15-minute ceremony.
Which felt like an eternity. It took forever.
And you were, and we talked about it afterwards, you were just staring at me the whole time, and I was staring at you too, but I also was like scoping the room because there was such small amount of people, and I just wanted to like see everybody's faces. And I looked at your grandma, me and his brother was standing right behind him, and every time I was like about to cry during the service, I would just look at AJ, and he would just be like, make a funny face at me. And I just looked at my mom, my dad a few times, and Ben just was staring at you the whole time, but I just kept crying when I would do that, so I needed to break away.
Yeah, it's like you look in the room for like a safe harbor, and you're just like, all right, that person's crying, so I can't look in that direction. It's like, that person's crying. So
everyone was crying.
Just
the owner of the store was tearing up. I was like, I can't look anywhere.
Yeah, it was no safe place.
Yeah, and then we went through the ceremony, and we were pronounced husband and wife. Yay!
Bam.
Oh, oh,
Bum, 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 bum.
the Capanos!
Is this a dance montage?
Probably.
Okay.
But we were announced, and it was the best feeling ever.
Yes. And to continue with the untraditional aspect of the evening, there was no aisle, there's no enter and exit besides the garage door, so we didn't proceed out of the venue.
Exit.
We didn't leave, so we just sat there, and they brought out champagne, and
champagne
we
toast.
give like a
champagne toast instead of an exit. Do it up.
Yeah, that was a nice little twist. So we had a nice little moment there, and that's what kind of kicked off our night.
Yeah, we went right into photos right from there.
Yep.
And it was easy. We just did all of our photos underneath our arbor, which my father built, which is another amazing piece of this story.
You should include here.
Yeah, I will insert a picture of the arbor here, both of which are going to be over Jonathan's face.
That's fun.
And we went to the lumber yard together, and he built me an arbor, because next year we have a birch arbor at our venue, but I wanted this triangle wood arbor, and I showed a picture to my dad, and he was like, I got that, no problem. So we got married under an arbor that my father built, which was incredible. So we took all pictures in front of that, which took like 20 minutes, and then Jonathan and I went outside and took pictures in front of the building, which is a really historic building in Lynn where we grew up. And I found out that day, I don't even know if I told you this, but both my grandparents, like in the 70s, worked in that building, which is so cool. My grandmother, my mom's mom, so there, and whatever. So just a historic building, took beautiful pictures in the front of the building. I'll insert those too.
See all the pictures.
Yeah, and so we took photos from there, came back inside, and we had like a cocktail hour where we just kind of socialized. There was live music by our musician. He played the piano, he was singing. It was so beautiful. And then we eventually had our first dance, so we always had planned to at least take one lesson to just learn like a few moves, and just like a romantic thing to do.
Yeah, and Courtney is such a dancer, and I am notorious for not dancing and things like that.
This is how we did it.
Yep. It was exactly like that.
So we took dance lessons. Obviously, with everything going on with COVID, we couldn't go anywhere to take dance lessons. So this woman who we were working with for our dance lessons for our big wedding was like, I will come to you, we're all gonna wear our masks, and we will keep a distance, and I'll teach you. So she came to us like the Thursday before the wedding, and we told her what song we were dancing to, which is the Bones acoustic version by Maren Morris. I'm sure everybody's heard it, but we just thought that was the most like perfect.
Yeah, it's already a song that we love, and then it was just,
oh my gosh,
very fitting for this series of events.
This 2020, the Bones should be everybody's song. And so we have our song that we're dancing to next year. We knew we didn't want to do that song. She basically taught us some moves, and you crushed it. You looked so good. Go to my TikTok, Courtney Capano, and you can see some of the moves. Because we didn't have a videographer, but my maid of honor recorded so many little clips from the night, and I put it into like a minute-long TikTok.
I did not like that one. Stop, I'm not a piece of meat.
Yes, you are. So we had our
first dance,
and then we sat down for dinner.
Yeah, and her dad, we kind of sat down and got ready, and food came out, and her dad kind of kicked off the dinner portion with a beautiful speech and like the theme throughout the night is that everyone's just so themselves, and her dad's speech was just so him. But
also, yes, so him, but so unexpected. Like I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And not that that's not my dad.
It was just authentic. It was just like so well done. Can't even begin to describe the words that he had, and the feelings we all had in the room. My parents were crying like babies.
He addressed everyone. He addressed your mother and father. He addressed my mom, which was beautiful. The words that he said just about her raising me. He addressed you as like the man that's now taking care of me. He addressed me last, and that's when he kind of got a little
Yeah, maybe the 4th time you see me cry.
Yeah, 4th time I saw my dad cry.
So dinner kind of proceeds, and we're all having, you know, laughs now, and it just stops. And Courtney's grandmother stands up. Courtney's Nana stands up. She's like, I have to say something. She just like spoke her truth and was all from the heart. And Nana is a big crier.
Yes.
Billy's not a crier. Nana's a big crier. And she held it together the entire time.
She didn't cry.
Said everything she wanted to say. And it was beautiful. It was. And so the evening continued. My brother had kind of told me that he had words to, you know, he wanted to say a few things, but I was, you know, the best man always gives a speech at the wedding and things like that. I was like, AJ, if you want to say something, you can absolutely say something. Like, I don't want you to feel like you have to, but you are more than welcome to. So he kind of tapped me during dinner and he's like, I would like to say something. He laid it out as laws, which in typical AJ fashion he would.
He's an attorney also, and Jonathan's father is an attorney, just to put that.
Mom wins all the arguments.
Mom wins all the good man.
So he just laid out this, you know, poetic, it wasn't a poem, but it was just like so well written.
Oh my gosh.
He's good with a pen, you know, he can really write, he can really articulate what he wants to say and what he wants, you know, to come out. It means a lot because, you know, I'm his little brother and he just talks about how much he learned from me and from Courtney and how lucky he is to like have a new sister.
It really just got the night to a perfect point to just then
kicked it off.
Finish dinner, and we weren't sure if we were going to be dancing or not. We gave the DJ a playlist, and what did of course we were going to
I don't think you made it through dinner without dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your brother, Nikki, just
huge dancer.
Huge dancer, and he has the best moves out there. Just as like an FYI or whatever.
Yeah.
He is in a wheelchair.
No one's safe.
And he has the best moves wherever he goes. And so he's incredible. We just started crushing it on the dance floor. Essentially, it was the most perfect, beautiful, incredible day to ever have happened. And I might be biased. And the best part too is that afterwards, so Jonathan and I got on a plane the next morning, wore our masks, were extremely safe, and we went to Charleston, and that video is going to be going up, or maybe it already is up. I'm not sure what the order is, but it was so much fun. It was just relaxing, and we needed it. And so we knew we had to get on a plane the next morning, and we knew we just wanted to go home and be with each other after the night ended, but every single other person went to his parents' backyard and apparently stayed till 3 in the morning.
Why do you want to be with just me?
Why do I want to be with just you?
You cannot put that on YouTube.
Why? And then we went and sat outside and drank the champagne, and you smoked a cigar, and we just talked until the wee hours of the morning. And then we got on a plane the next day, and it was perfect.
Happily ever after.
Happily ever after. And that was our night. It was simple, it was perfect, and I would not change a thing. Would you?
Nope.
Not one thing?
Not a single thing.
Me neither. June 22nd, 2020 is our wedding date. That's the day that we are always going to remember as the day we were married. June 24th of next year is our celebration, where we're going to fully celebrate and embrace all that it means to be married. And so we saved a lot of traditions, as we kind of mentioned already, for next year. And so this year we did, I did not wear my wedding dress. I bought a dress on Show Me Your Muumuu, which I linked in a wedding haul video that, again, I don't know if it's already up or not, but if it's already up, I'll link it below. And then when it is up, I'll link it below. And so wore a dress that I got off of a website. Did not wear my veil. We didn't even do the walk-in song, the entrance song that I'm doing next year.
No processions.
No processions. We just had everybody stand up there. We did not write our vows this year. We just did very traditional I do type of repeat after me vows.
I thee wed.
I thee wed. We didn't do cake. We did a first dance, but not to the song that we're doing next year. We did not do a father, daughter, mother, son dance. We did a little bit, but not really.
Best man speech.
Best man speech. My maid of honors, by the way, did give a speech. They did give a speech. I don't know how we forgot about this. It was short and beautiful, and I think it was impromptu, as they noted during the speech, but they got up and just...
They were flooded.
Oh my God. That actually was one of my favorite points of the night, just because they're just such goofballs, and they're such a duo, those two, and they just spoke from their hearts, and cried and made me cry and just talked about how much they loved us and how much they both learned what love is through us because we've been together so long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cry. That was really good. I love them so much. And so we saved best man speeches, maid of honor speeches for next year. We saved... What else did we save for next year?
Flower toss.
Flower toss, bridal bouquet toss, the garter we're doing next year.
We did the open bar. We'll do another open bar.
We'll do another open bar next year. We didn't do a first look this year. We didn't do...
Didn't have our ring bearers.
We didn't have our ring bearers, our flower girl.
Shout out AJ, great holder of the rings.
AJ was a great holder of the rings. So we saved a lot for next year, and you know what? It is going to be different, and it's going to be our story, and we're getting married twice technically, but next year I am so excited for so many reasons. And who gets to get married twice? We do. And
without a divorce.
Without a divorce.
Wax on.
Wax on. I wouldn't change a single thing about that whole experience. We're married. We are the Capanos. The new Capanos in town, and stay tuned for more wedding content to come. I am super excited to be posting more, and obviously things look a little different now that I had a whole wedding planned and it got moved to next year, but that just means great things to come. So thank you all for watching.
Bye.